Although most drivers are unaware of what goes into their car's emission system, many new parts have completely changed the way modern engines function. It's unlikely that you have ever heard of a canister purge valve unless you work as a mechanic or engineer. It is, first and foremost, an emissions component that returns extra fuel vapors to the engine. The evaporative emission system of your car is the complete system of which it is a part. It collects and reroutes extra fuel vapors so the engine can burn them again in tandem with the charcoal canister. By burning the fuel vapors rather than releasing them into the atmosphere through the car's exhaust, this lowers your emissions while maximizing the quantity of energy generated and reducing the quantity of hazardous chemicals released as a byproduct. It's a fantastic part that greatly lowers emissions when everything is operating as it should. However, when it's not, a number of issues become apparent. In this video, we'll go over everything you need to know about bad purge valve symptom and its replacement cost. It's the Car Problems YouTube channel. Subscribe and let's get started. Increased emissions. The vapor canister purge valve will not force fuel vapors back into the engine if it is stuck closed as opposed to open. Rather, they will operate directly from the exhaust, resulting in significantly elevated emission levels. Of course, unless you have an emission test done on your car, you probably won't notice this. Difficult to start. It makes sense that you would notice the majority of the symptoms when you first start your car because this is when the vapor canister purge valve performs most of its work, which involves emptying the gasoline tank of gases. When you start the engine, you'll have extra air because the purge valve is stuck open, and your car won't compensate for this, which will cause the fuel-to-air ratio to be off. You will notice that it takes a little longer for your car to start, but it should still start. However, it is extremely uncommon for this valve to cause it to not start at all. Rough idle. The vacuum that powers vapor canister purge valves can be affected by a vacuum leak, particularly when the engine is running at a lower speed. A canister purge valve vacuum leak would cause an idle that is rougher than normal. The extent of the leak would determine how serious of a problem this is. Poor engine performance. You're introducing more air into the system than your car is supposed to when the vapor canister purge valve is stuck open. This indicates that your car isn't putting enough fuel into the engine for the amount of fuel it has when you press the accelerator. Although they will be more apparent at lower RPMs, these effects can still impact performance at all engine speeds, it's just less obvious. Check engine light. The most frequent symptom of a malfunctioning vapor canister purge valve is an unexpected check engine light, which is also the most noticeable. The presence or absence of a stuck valve can affect the symptoms, but one thing that shouldn't change is the appearance of a check engine light. Replacement cost. The typical cost to replace a vapor canister purge valve ranges from $50 to $300 depending on the type of vehicle and labor expenses. Even though those tiny plastic parts might not seem like much, replacing them won't be inexpensive. Typically, the cost of the part alone is between $30 and $150. From there, labor rates must also be taken into account. The location and difficulty of the vapor canister purge valve will determine the final cost, which typically falls between $20 and $150. A vapor canister purge valve located in the engine bay is fairly simple to replace if you want to take on the task yourself. To complete the task, all you have to do is find the valve and possibly remove an intake cover. If the valve is attached to the back of the fuel tank, getting to the area will probably require jacking up the back of the car and removing the tire. If you have the right tools, this doesn't take a lot of work, but it can slow down the procedure somewhat. But the few extra steps are usually well worth it when you consider that these easy steps can save you anywhere from $50 to $150. To complete the task, don't forget to reset the engine code by disconnecting and replugging the battery. Hope the information was helpful for you. If so, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel.